Y'all, I did it. I finally did it. I got a Cambridge ESV wide margin. I did it! Ah! In reality, I don't know why it took me so long. Well, I take that back. I do. You know, last year when I was really considering that I might want one, we were paying off all that debt. We were putting all that money into savings. I just had all this stuff happening with money. And even though we have a lot coming in, we just were being very, very disciplined with the flow. We're still being very disciplined with the flow, but we got so much margin that someone posted a deal on this thing and I was like, nah, you know, hey, what's 200? What's 200 for a Bible? People do ask, do you think it's worth $200 for a Cambridge? Yeah, I do. I really do. These are great Bibles. And I say that because I've had one for a while. I've had my NASB for a while. And it's a fantastic Bible. So what I'm gonna do in this video, so I'm gonna open this box momentarily. And then I'm going to compare the NASB and the ESV, and I'll give a couple of little caveats to that here in a moment. But I've been using this one for a while, on and off and on. This hasn't been a permanent Bible for me, but I mean, I've gotten some major use out of it. And if I hadn't changed, or let me say this, if my old way of taking notes did not interfere with my new system, probably would have just stuck with this one because I have it. But I figured, let me make the change over to the ESV since I use it all the time. And if I ever go NASB again, I just go back to one of these because it's a great Bible. So we'll do a little comparison, but first let's open it up. This one's new. It smells new. It's got that new Bible smell. It's got that new Bible smell. All right, here we go. You're all like, just open it up. We've seen Matthew Everhart's video. Whatever. Whatever, Matthew Everhart. Whatever. This isn't the eagle. Mine's the This isn't the eagle. Mine's the falcon. Deal with that, Matthew Everhart. I don't even know if I'm saying your last name right, to be honest with you. I'm just messing around. All right, here we go. Let's open it up. Oh, man. Oh, man. Oh, that's the good stuff. I mean, I'd rather it be a car, but it's good. It works. So, this thing is fun. I really want that box to be okay. I don't know why I did that. This thing is amazing. Now, this is, believe it or not, this thing's actually very, very different than the NASB, but it's just a butamus on the inside. Just, oh, brand, it's just ready to be written in. It wants me to write in it, and I'm going to. And I'm going to tell you when I'm going to start in a few minutes. Okay, so let me just give you some thoughts on this versus the NASB. Now, first, I do need to tell you this. These are very different years, so I'm assuming that they're still making this one the same way. I don't know Cambridge to really update their processes with any of this stuff, but this one is from like 2011, 2012, somewhere in there, maybe 2010. I could tell you if I had the box on me, but I think it's out in a box. It's a box in a box. So, oh, hey, maybe I got a date in here. Hang on. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Ah, 2012. 2/24/2012. See? Wife actually didn't buy this for me. I bought it for me, but I made her give it to me because I thought it was nice. And she has better handwriting than me. Back when that mattered. So the cover is different. You see this kind of unique grain to the cover. I actually like this better because it just, I don't have any other Bible that looks like that. That's just, that's thumbnails. This is more of a pebbly kind of grain, which is similar to like my heirlooms. You see it's got that pebbly kind of look. So I don't dislike it. I do like this better though. I think this is more unique. And that could be from over time me using it. I don't think so, but it could be. But I doubt it. I think it came that way. You can see, just looking at these, how well this is held up. I mean, I've been pretty abusive with this Bible. And, I mean, you see how well, compared to a new one, this has held up. So I'm super duper just impressed with Cambridge in the long term. In terms of comparison of these physically, you probably can't tell this on video. Maybe you can. That this, and this could be that I haven't used it yet. So this could be the result of use. But the ESV is actually a good deal thinner than the NASB. It's not outrageously, I mean, I'm going to press them. And you can see that, yeah, I mean, it's thinner. And when I hold it, it feels thinner. It feels considerably thinner than the NASB. The insides of this, first and foremost, they are a different translation from one another. This one and this one are not the same words, but they're the same enough. When you look at, I need to find like okay, Ezekiel 20. Okay, it's pretty clean. Finding clean pages here is tougher than it would seem. Okay, Ezekiel 20. These are not going to line up. They're not going to be the same layout on each page, but we'll just get to a similar area. So, first thing that you'll notice is that let me zoom in here. Maybe this will help. Okay, you'll notice that the ESV is just a little more spacious in the references, and that's because of the way they do this, which is really, really great. With the NASB, they put all of the footnotes, the cross-references, all of it is slammed together throughout here. I'm going to sneeze. Hang on. That was more necessary than you realize. Whew, man, that was something. So they take the footnotes, they take the cross-references, they take all that stuff, they slam it in together, and it's not differentiated here in layout. Now, obviously, when you look at the references and stuff, it's much easier than I'm making it sound, but it's a little jammed. Over here, they do cross-references, but then they do the footnotes at the bottom, just like Crossway does all of their stuff. So you get those footnotes separated, which I really, really love. I already am impressed with this. Not only that, but the column here is actually wider than the column here. So even physically, it gives it a little more breathing room. Now, in terms of the margins, basically dealing with the same thing. I mean, it's not a big difference between the two. But this just gives it a little bit more breathing. So I'll tell you, when you look at the page of this Bible versus this Bible, this one is automatically a little more pleasant to the eye just because this is kind of crammed in there. Now, from what I can tell, they're both the same font, they're both the same size, all of that stuff is the same. I personally prefer the Crossway font over everything, but this is a great font, it's very readable. I'm pretty impressed. The shape of the Bible is a little different. I don't know if you can see that, how this is a little more square, and this is a little more rounded. So I don't know what the long-term implications of that are going to be. Can this thing fold over without a lot of force? No, it doesn't want to fold without me pushing it real hard. So the only things I don't like about this, which are the same things I don't like about this, is the red letter text. Now, when I first got my Cambridge, I used to really only want red letter text. I don't know why. It's just a thing, and I think like most of us, it's just kind of a thing, but there's no real reason to it other than those are the words of Jesus. But other than that, in terms of the resource on the page, it's not particularly helpful. So they used to make a black letter for the Cambridge, but they don't do that anymore. So I got the red letter because that's the one that they make. So yeah, between the two, thinner, different cover, more spacious on the inside here. This one is, it's all good and fine. But I'm excited about getting into this. So like I said, the only thing I give it a diss for is the, hang on a second. Well, hang on just a gosh darn minute here. That's an interesting find. We have to do a test here. We have to do a test. My wife is coaching this son of a gun out of somebody over there right now. I don't know who that is. Okay, so let's see here. 7/8-ish. Huh. Okay, so one of two things is going on here. Either the Old Testament and the New Testament in this are not the same size reference column in the middle there. Or it's adapted from page to page, but it's looking like it's just... So over here, it's like 3/4 inch. Over here, it's about 7/8 inch. And you can see it when you look at it, boy. That is... Wow. This just brings us to my attention. One thing I don't like that Cambridge does, I don't like this. I wish this started on a new page, because then I'd get that little extra space there at the end of every book. They could give me a little more writing room that just kind of makes sense. But that's neither here nor there. So that was an interesting find we just had. Wow. I'll probably change the ribbons out on this before too long, just so I have a little bit of my own custom flair. I really like it. It's Cambridge, man. Cambridge wide margin. Can you believe it? Just love me some Cambridge wide margin. So this is probably going to be the one now. This is probably going to be it after going back and forth for a while. I love all the stuff that Crossway makes, but I mean, this is just such a good utility Bible that it is hard to get away from it. So I'll probably be using the Heirloom or the Heirloom Thin Line for reading, and then this for writing. And that's probably going to be the plan moving forward. So super impressed with this. However, if you wanted an NASB, I would get this one. I mean, it's great. This one's been with me for a while, almost 7 years, so, or more than 7 years now. And so I'll be making the transition over here. I am going to be doing something different with this one. I'll probably do a video on this, but I will just give you the heads up on it. For the first time ever, I've never been a guy that takes my notes and transfers from one Bible to the next, but I think from now on, when I do my daily stuff, I'm going to do all my notes that come, my journaling stuff that comes as I go. Then I'm going to go back through each one of my Bibles in the same session and just see what notes I've written over time, and I might take those certain ones and transfer them over here. And that way I have more of an all-inclusive reference here in terms of my physical Bible. So I have one place I can go to, and I have just a boatload of notes. So love the Cambridge, and you should too. So I'm going to put links to this in the description below. If you like videos like this, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, click that bell so you get notified anytime I post a new video. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.